Thank you for joining Life Tutoring. Today we will be going over long division of polynomials, in which we take a polynomial and divide it by a binomial. In order to do this, there are two important things that we will cover as we go along solving this particular problem. Let's get started. In order to solve this, we first of all set our numerator, which is our polynomial, which is called a polynomial because it has many terms. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4 terms. We set our polynomial inside of our division sign, should I say, to make it sound easier. So we'll take 4x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x plus 6, and we place it inside. Now on the outside, we'll take our denominator, our binomial, and we'll say 2x plus 2. Now, as I'm about to solve this, I like to put a box around the second term of my binomial because I want to remember one thing. This is the first thing that we remember in solving long division of polynomials. I want to remember to change the sign. All right. So in order to solve this, we look at our first term and we say 2x times what gives us 4x cubed. Well, we know that 2 times 2 is 4, so we know that I have a 2 as a coefficient. And x times what gives me x cubed? Well, that would be x squared. I'll now take this 2x and distribute it to each term of my binomial. So 2x squared times 2x gives me 4x cubed. And 2x squared times 2 gives me a positive 4x squared. Now, because I'm remembering to change the sign, where this would be a positive, 2 times 2x gives me 4x squared, I want to change that to a negative, and this also becomes a negative as well. So here I'll draw my line and I'll solve my basic math from there. 4x cubed minus 4x cubed, they cancel out. And a positive 2x squared minus 4x squared gives me a negative 2x squared. Now I'll do the same thing that I did here. I'm going to do it here. So I say 2x times what gives me a negative 2x squared. And that would be a negative 1x. So I understand that that's a negative 1x. So now I'll distribute. Negative x times 2x gives me a negative 2x squared. And negative x times 2 gives me a negative 2. Now here, I should bring down this 8x. Okay, I'll draw my line, and I want to remember to change the sign. So where this was a negative, it now becomes a positive. Where this is a negative, it now becomes a positive. Negative 2x and a positive 2x, they cancel out, and those are x squareds. And then a negative 8x and a positive 2x now gives me a negative 6x. I want to bring this down. So this will be plus 6. I'll ask myself one more time. 2x times what gives me a negative 6x? And that would be a minus 3. I'm going to take this minus 3 and distribute it. Negative 3 times 2x gives me a negative 6x. And negative 3 times positive 2 gives me a negative 6. I'm going to remember to change the sign. So where this was a negative, it now becomes a positive. And where this is a negative, it now becomes a positive. I'll draw my line and do my math accordingly. A negative 6x and a positive 6x, they cancel out. And a positive 6 and a positive 6 gives me a remainder of 12. So now that I've worked this all the way down to the bottom, I take my final quotient and I'll set it over here to the side. This says 2x squared minus x minus 3. And my remainder, just like if I were solving any other type of basic division problem, like if I did 20 divided by 3, And I know that 3 goes into 26 times, and this is 18. This becomes 2. My answer is now 6 2/3. It's the same concept here. With my remainder of 12, I now set it over 2x plus 2. And because this is a positive number, this now becomes that. This is my final answer. If you'd like to see more problems like this, please email them to lifetutoringabc123@gmail.com. Thanks for joining. Bye.